Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
This is a fascinating story of the Sydney man who broke into his dead brother's coffin, chopped off a bit of his ear in an elaborate attempt to prove his nephew was illegitimate and should not inherit family money. Have you been following this story?
So his brother has died.
Yep.
And he thinks my nephew, my brother's son,
Is
not
illegitimate?
deserve the inheritance because he's not, well, not illegitimate. He's not his.
Not his, no. So not part of the, and because the brother died without leaving a valid will in 2022, this man, Zhong Li, has thought, well, I've got to do something about this. So he's gone to the funeral director and 2 or 3 days before the funeral, telling that they wanted to get a DNA sample from the deceased as they did not believe about the biological son bit. And the funeral director said, well, no, you've got to get permission from the next of kin, namely Cheng Li, who is the kid at question.
The nephew.
Yeah. So he's not going to say, yeah, rightio, about it.
So he went there then and chopped his ear off.
So Xin Zhong went to the funeral home on the morning. Him and his accomplice crept inside the chapel, used a set of keys to lock the lid to the coffin. I don't know, they locked them down.
No, I didn't think they did either.
They unzipped the body bag, got the corpse out, then chopped off a bit of his ear so they could use it for DNA purposes.
But hasn't he seen movies and things where all you have to do is run a cotton bud in the mouth or take a scraping from under the fingernails? You can solve crimes with that little DNA. You don't need to lop an ear off.
No, but, it's not like he's going to
And then no one would
it.
know they'd been there. No one would know they'd been there.
Well, he was cremated 3 days later, so no one knew at all. The only reason this came to light, he kept the secret for about a year. He and a relative returned back to the funeral home and asked the director to sign a statement about the conversation they had prior to the funeral. The director questioned the pair, and that's when he confessed to the crime, saying, I cut off a piece of his ear and kept it in my fridge. And the director said, you did what? And Lee said, what else could I do?
What else could I do?
What else?
And everyone's gagging who went to his house and had those dried apricots for dinner. Jeffrey Dahmer was going back for seconds. And did it prove about the nephew? What did we learn about the nephew?
No, we don't know anything about that. All we know that he is his appeal for was unsuccessful against the $1,500 fine he copped for improperly interfering with a corpse.
$1,500?
That's what you
Is
get
that all?
for interfering with a
all?
corpse. Yeah, I'll have to remember that.
I thought there'd be more of a deterrent than that.
I know. You get more for speaking on your phone and double demerits.